the Liberian Senate, Capitol Building, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Fifth day sitting, third session, 55th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia, Tuesday, January 27, 2026. Agenda order of business. 1 call to order, 2 devotion, 3 roll call, 4 reading adoption of the agenda, 5 unfinished business, 6 report from standing committees. A report from the Committee on Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries on the confirmation hearing of Honorable J. Cyrus Sagbe Jr., Director, General Designate National Fishery and Aquaculture Authority. 7, business of President's Desk, A, communications from the President of Liberia submitting the following. An act to amend the Liberia Revenue Code to be referred to as Liberia Tax Amendment Act of January 2026. Communication from the legislature to the President of Liberia on Senate gross bills, number 32 and 33. A response from the President of Liberia thereto. Communication from the President of Liberia on nomination made in government. B, communication from Senators Joseph K. Jala, J. Alex Tyler, Yomi Kama Lawrence, and Seaman B. Taylor of Lufa, Bombing, Grand Bassa, and Grand Cape Mount counties, respectively, submitting for an act to amend Chapter 23 of the new judiciary law entitled Judiciary Law Title 17, Liberia Code of Laws revised to provide for the operationalization and prioritize establishment of labor courts in Lufa, Grand Cape Mount, Grand Bassa, and Bombay counties. And briefing and update from senators, 3 minutes each. 8, any other business, 9, adjournment. Madam President Pro Tem and presiding officer, distinguished senators, the reading of the proposed agenda for today's sitting.
Distinguished colleagues, you've heard the reading of the proposed agenda for today's sitting. What is your will and pleasure? Senator Jimon Smith.
Madam Pro Tem, distinguished senators, I move that if I can obtain a second that the agenda just read be received and put for discussion.
It has been moved and seconded that the agenda be open for discussion. Are you ready to vote?
Ready.
All in favor say yea.
Yeah.
Against? Any intervention? Senator Taylor.
Madam Pro Tem, distinguished colleagues, for administrative correction, E, order business professional desk, B, should just be on the agenda to be read at title. It's not a communication any longer. Because the bills have already been submitted. So the unit should be there for title. Honor AOB, I want to make a case before plenary for endorsement to get the labor minister to begin submitting monthly and quarterly labor market data regarding jobs. Honor AOB.
People are invited, Senator.
It's already before us. The president delivered another message already before us. I want to make the case.
Yeah. So everybody who has interest in the president's annual message, you read it, we have a copy, and we can put your communication on the floor.
Okay, I'll put it in. Yeah, I'll write it.
Senator,
That's the
No, I think I'm
Senator,
Madam President, colleagues, the confirmation hearing
for the nominee Sarah's in the same way, I think we should postpone that getting the attendance to I'm making a case now. And the 3-minute briefing for senators should also be postponed to next sitting.
If you don't remove that, you will not remove it because the agenda was being adopted.
Correct.
So, do you want the confirmation we put on the agenda?
Yeah. No, we don't have the number, then we
defer. Taking position, so once we don't.
You're not deferred, you have to take action. Once it's adopted on the agenda, you have to take action. Then we say, we defer to Thursday.
But my protest for the record, we have done so before. Just so the record can show.
But the people record now,
yeah, please.
So we'll remove the confirmation report. Yes, deferred. So the chair.
I want the floor, Madam President.
I want 6 minutes of plenary to direct the Senate Secretary to his right, the Minister of Public Works, 2 weeks from today, the Committee of the Whole, to get us status of road wise to our economy. No,
Yeah. But then I have to start out the transition.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want the record to show that we've adopted agendas here before. We've reached confirmation for tenure positions, and given that senators who either were earlier here, we didn't have the number, we passed over it for another sitting. Because if it remains...
Only the pro tem can decide what happens to the agenda.
That is flexible.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
Without motion to adopt, all in favor say yes, against.
Business of President's text. Communications from the President of Liberia submitting the following. The bill, second reading by title. An act to amend the Liberia Revenue Code to be referred to as Liberia Tax Amendment Act of January 2026. Title. President Pro Tem. Bill by title. For second reading.
Distinguished colleagues, refer the reading. The reading by title and act to amend the Liberia Revenue Code to be referred to as the Liberia Tax Amendment Act of January 2026. Motion to Senator Tupu.
I put out this thing where Senator, having listened to the second reading of the bill, an act to amend the Liberia Code to be referred to as the Liberia Tax Amendment Act of 2026. I vote that in a second that this bill be sent to the Committee on Ways and Finance and appropriate action. No, take a second.
Second.
We've already stated the motion and we're ready to vote.
Okay.
Our readiness, Senator Dillon.
You sure you're not coming?
I'll be ready to
Well said.
Thank you.
With that clear, you're ready to vote. All in favor say yes. Against. Motion carried.
Business on President's text. Communication from the legislature to the President of Liberia on Senate's engrossed bills
number 32 and 33, and response from the President of Liberia reads, the Liberian Senate, January 20, 2026. His Excellency Joseph Newman Barker, Senior President of the Republic of Liberia, the Executive Mansion, Monrovia, Liberia. We present our compliments and by directive of the legislature of this section, apprise you that on January 2, 2026, the legislature resubmitted 2 bills for, quote, an act amending Chapter 6 of the Public Authorities Law creating the National Port Authority and to establish the Liberia Sea and Inland Ports Decentralization and Modernization Act of 2025, unquote, and, quote, the Liberia Sea and Inland Ports Regulatory Act of 2025, unquote. To the Office of the President, after reconsidering the request of the President to adjust some lines that were in conflict with other laws. Those bills came out of the reform agenda by the Senate in collaboration with the House of Representatives to support the agenda for the decentralization of economic activities in the country. However, due to the importance of these bills and the transformation that they will bring to these underdeveloped counties and the economic benefits to the country, many stakeholders, including the business communities and port management experts, have expressed to us formally and informally some inputs that will improve the transitional and execution plans to make these ports more viable and beneficial when given autonomous status. Your Excellency, the legislature, after several consultative meetings, has decided to withdraw both bills mentioned supra from the Office of the President to incorporate the views that will further strengthen the bills and resubmit in 2 weeks after a final passage. The legislature wishes to thank the Office of the President for the cooperation and look forward to having this very important decision finally concluded for the growth and development of our country as soon as possible. Please accept, Your Excellency, the renewed assurances of our highest consideration and esteem. Kind regards, respectfully submitted. Nambola Segwe, Secretary of the Senate, signed, Nedra and Sion, Chief Craig, House of Representatives. That's the reading of the communication from the legislature. The response thereto. Republic of Liberia, the President, January 21, 2026. Senator Youngly Kanga Lawrence, President Pro Tempore of the Liberian Senate. Capitol Building, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Madam President Pro Tempore, I hereby acknowledge receipt of a letter dated January 20, 2026, informing us of the legislature's decision to withdraw the following bill. 1. An act amending Chapter 6 of the Public Authorities Law, creating the National Port Authority, and to establish the Liberia Sea and Inland Ports Decentralization and Modernization Act of 2025. 2. The Liberia Sea and Inland Ports Regulatory Act of 2025. In line with such requests, my office hereby returned the said bill to the legislature for the adjustments you have requested. We appreciate the legislature's commitment to ensuring that these reforms are comprehensive, inclusive, and beneficial to the people of Liberia. Sincerely, Joseph Newman Walker, Senior President of the Republic of Liberia. Madam President, Pro Tempore, the reading of the communication to the President of the withdrawal and the response there from the President.
Those were the 2 communications, one from the legislature withdrawn and the response from the President. What is our will impression? So I think the request is to act in 2 weeks and resubmit, and the President has accepted that. So he said administrative, we would ask the, let me get a motion to ask the committee to take charge again. Motion?
Madam Pro Tem, distinguished colleagues, given the importance of this bill as acknowledged by the Senate and even the presidency, and with the exchanges between the legislature and the office of the president, I move, if I can obtain a second, that the letters be turned over to the same specialized committee or the same committee that the bill derived from, so that those points that were communicated to be incorporated or deleted from whatever it is, so that said adjustment can now form part of a new and clean bill that will be resubmitted to the president within 2 weeks.
With that, was this that? With that motion, before we stating, are you ready to vote? Already, that's your approval.
I'm ready to amend.
I'll be put this distinguished with emphasis Senator Koga. Are we ready to vote? Are we ready to vote? If the movement will consider that in reviewing these concerns, a public hearing be conducted on it. Are we ready to vote? Yes.
Let me consult.
Monsieur President, before you.
I can't evolve. I'm ready to present Senate President Biden. I'm ready to present Senate President Biden. Let me see how
There was specific concerns that will be submitted to the committee.
And you?
With that way, I ready to vote. All in favor, say yea. Senator, Senate.
Business of President's text. Communication from the President of Liberia on nomination dates in government. Republic of Liberia, the President. January 20.
You must pay your seats on the way you find.
January 22, 2026. Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence, President Pro Tempore of the Senate in session. Capitol Building, Monrovia, Liberia. Madam President Pro Tempore, I'm pleased to submit herewith the following nomination, pending Senate confirmation for appointment in government. Minister of Youth and Sports. Anthony Cornelia W. Kura, Minister. I would greatly appreciate if this is given expedited confirmation by the Senate, so as to ensure smooth transition in the government. Kind regards, sincerely, Joseph Iman Parker, Senior President of the Republic of Liberia. Madam President Pro Tempore.
Distinguished colleagues, you heard the reading of communication from the President nominating the Minister of Youth and Sports. What is your written impression? Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. Distinguished colleagues. Having heard the communication from the President nominating a very youthful and qualified Liberian woman to the position of Minister of Youth and Sports,
I move that the communication be received and turned over to the Committee on Youth and Sport for confirmation. Thank you.
Yeah, oh.
This is the President's next. Communication from Senator Joseph K. Jala.
Better communication. Reading by title.
An act to amend Chapter 23 of the new Judiciary Law, Chapter 17, the Liberian Code of Laws revised, to provide for operationalization and prioritize establishment of labor codes in Lofa, Grand Cape Mount, Grand Bassa, and Bombing counties. Second reading by title. Madam President Pro Tem.
Sorrow.
That's a second reading.
Second reading. That's the act to amend Chapter 23 of the new Judiciary Law, Title 17, that Grand Code of Laws revised to provide for the operationalization and prioritize establishment of labor codes in Lofa, Grand Cape Mount, Grand Bassa, and Bombing counties. Motion. Motion.
What have you listened to?
I know it's about title. Constituting the second reading, I move if I can obtain a second. Taking into consideration the need to dispense justice in our country, that the document be sent to the Judiciary Committee to report to plenary in 2 weeks.
We've already taken the motion. Are you ready to vote? All right, that's the chair.
Please ask Grant Group so that they close.
Ah.
What is it that you got to be close?
No, because already.
So I said to the court.
What's the layer for judges?
So judges. But after I read the vote, all in favor say yeah.
President Joseph.
Welcome the political leader. My partner. So they will remove the confirmation report from the report? No. Was it removed?
Remove it.
They will not get that off?
I was here.
It was suspended.
It was removed.
All right, defer to Thursday.
But we did put it back.
Defer to Thursday. Agenda is up there, 3 minutes. Did we agree to continue 3 minutes? With that, motion to adjourn. All in favor say yea.